You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene. Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's The Amazing Race After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's The Amazing Race After Show.
Oh my gosh, we are back and I could not be more excited. We have missed you all so much. Welcome to, once again, AfterBuzz TV's The Amazing Race. This is season 24, episode #1, entitled Back in the Saddle. Hi everybody, I'm Justin Nichols, one of your hosts. And of course, we have all the same hosts returning this season here at AfterBuzz as we did last time. So we're so excited that Jessica, Carroll, and James Wallington are back, but guess what? They had to be out of town this week. Jessica is in India. James is on a reality show extravaganza event happening in Colorado. So for those of you watching online right now, you can see how excited I am to be in the studio right now because we have brought in the big guns to be our special guest tonight. Hey. You know her from last season of The Amazing Race. Yay. We have a big celebrity here. Kim, you're here.
Yay, I'm here. I'm so excited. Thanks for having me.
We are so excited to have you here. What a great way to start off the new season of AfterBuzz's The Amazing Race by having you here.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
And do you know who else is really happy to be here? You can hear him giggling already on the phone. I mentioned that our buddy James is in Colorado, I believe. But of course, he can never miss a single episode of AfterBuzz. So he's here via phone, right, James?
Hi, guys. Yeah, of course. I would never miss it. I love Amazing Race too much.
You're so cute.
But can you believe that how exciting and how much we talked about Kim last season and the fact that Jessica was literally in love, and then the fact that you guys are gone this week and Kim is here.
I know. I miss it.
I know. Kim, I hope that you'll come back for more, though, because we would love to have you.
I would love to. I actually met Jessica after our season wrapped. I got to meet her.
I know.
And James.
Yeah, after we finished doing AfterBuzz and after the last season ended, we've all got to hang out with your guys' cast. Has been absolutely amazing. So I'm kind of leaning towards one of the teams already, only because now of the close relationship. By the way, James, our buddy Tim from last season as well, he just tweeted us here at AfterBuzz saying that he's listening and to have fun tonight. So,
hi, buddy.
Awesome.
I miss you.
Now, listen, there is so much to talk about with these new teams. It is a new season, so let's not waste any time. And I just want to quickly go through all the teams. James and Kim, let's just see what we think about everyone. Does that sound good?
Perfect.
All right. I want to start with Brendon and Rachel, or they've also been called Brenchel. They're from Los Angeles, California. It looks like they were on season 20, and he's currently a PhD student, and she's a TV personality. Dear God. Sorry, I just had to say that. All right, James, what do you think about these guys? Are you glad they're back?
Well, you know what? Brenchel is obviously a reality television veteran, so it doesn't surprise me that they're back for the All-Star season. They obviously have proven themselves to be true competitors, on the Big Brother show, and then also the last season that they were on for The Amazing Race. It doesn't surprise me that they're there. They make great television, and, Rachel hosts on AfterBuzz, so I obviously have to root for her,
Absolutely. It's exciting that, we're co-workers with her.
Yeah.
And James, so we're rooting for them. She's a local.
She's cute.
She's so funny. And they did really well. So it looks like
they got second.
She knows exactly what she's doing. Here we go. So yeah, let's just see how they do. I'm excited for them. And they're for Brendon and Rachel, Brenchel, but James, it's kind of like Kim, your season. I feel like the casting department at The Amazing Race just gets lazier and lazier every season, and they just cast everyone from Southern California. That's what I feel like they do, because I feel like half your cast was from California, and this season, like all the others, all from Southern California. Moving on, from Nashville, Tennessee, we have Caroline and Jennifer, the singers. What do we think about You know what, James? It's kind of hard too. I feel like with episode 1, it's so hard to even do recaps because we get to see everyone for such a short amount of time. You know?
Yeah.
I love Caroline and Jennifer.
You do?
You're
you're rooting for them. You're fans of them.
I watched their season from season 22 because they were right on for us. So I just think they're adorable, and I like that they are singers together. It's so cute.
It is cute, and they have a good attitude. I feel like, James.
Yeah.
You said what?
I feel like Caroline and Jennifer have a good attitude. What do you think about them on the race?
Oh, Justin, must you ask me that question? Last time we recapped their season, I hated on them the entire time. I am sorry.
Why?
You're there to flirt with boys. You're not competitors. They got lucky the first time they played, and it looks like next episode they're going back to their old ways of flirting. I have no idea why they were even invited back, because in my mind, they're not all-stars. And I'm just keeping it real, okay?
Whoa! Whoa, James! I like the new James this season. He mentioned he might have like a beer or two tonight, and I say from now on you continually drink for all the AfterBuzz shows. Here's the thing. I guess maybe I don't know them as well as you do. Are these gonna be the new ice bunnies like last season that we just hated on them?
That's what I was gonna say. If you were gonna bring back a blonde team, you should have brought back Allie and Ashley because they didn't get any airtime. We didn't really get to know their personalities or their story. And after meeting them, at the festivities for the Survivor finale party in December, I would have rather have seen Allie and Ashley and actually get to know them as players and competitors on the race.
Agreed. But here we go. We're gonna see. They said, James, though, that they are not gonna be all about the boys this season. You think they're full of shit or crap, or pardon me, or what do you think?
Of course they're full of it. Did you see the clip for next week? They're already flirting with the locals of whatever country they're going to. They're going back to their old antics. They're not there to compete. They're there to flirt. They should have gone on Millionaire Matchmaker if they're looking for love.
James.
We have just changed AfterBuzz TV from a nice, respectable show to Jerry Springer. So I like it, James. All right, let's move on to maybe a team that you have a little more respect for. How do you feel, James, about David and Connor? It's the father-son team. They're cancer survivors. They got in 8th place in season 22. What do you think?
Well, of course, they were on Caroline and Jennifer's season. So I remember when we recapped that season, I was a huge fan from the very beginning. And what happened to them was so unfortunate. Yeah. So to see them back and stronger than ever, I'm obviously rooting for them. And I think they're going to do really well because they're on fire. They got gypped last time. So they're here to kind of redeem themselves.
My only thing is, he got hurt when he was on his last seasons. And he's only gotten, not a lot older, but a little bit older. Do you think that could have be a threat to him later on in the race? Is it just physically he may not be able to compete?
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. They're both cancer survivors, so I think they have a lot of fight in them, and they're not going to let anything stop them, no matter how hard the challenge that might be thrown their way. So I think they're going to persevere and do really well.
I think so too. They're like one of my favorites.
You're rooting for them?
Well, I loved them in the
their season
that they were on. They were just so. I just feel like they are a good father-son team.
I do too. I just feel like I think they're going to be. I don't know, show a true bond that you hope from a mother-daughter, father-son type of team.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
I'm excited they're here. I hope they stay a while.
And they're good competitors. I really think they would have gone really far in the last season.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully they can keep healthy. Also this season, this should be fun to have them back. We have Flight Time and Big Easy, aka Herbert and Nate, the Globetrotters. How exciting is it, James, that they are back?
Well, I was tweeting last night a little bit of hate on them, and it's nothing personal.
James, you're so feisty today.
I'm feisty because, I feel like bringing back three-peats, and I say three-peats because this is the third time that they're back.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen other people have a second chance. Why are Nikki and Kim back? Do you know what I mean? Bring back people who deserve a second chance, not a third chance. If you didn't win the first 2 times, you're not going to win the third time.
Were you guys asked to go back, Kim?
I can't really say.
Oh my God, I think you were asked to go back. I don't know why you didn't.
Bunny's prego.
Oh. Interesting. Exciting. Oh my gosh. All right, so I agree though. I was surprised.
You know what though? They make great television.
They do.
Of course, they're not hateable players. They're obviously really good guys. I just would have liked, as a fan, to see other people have another shot at $1 million.
Yeah,
I completely agree.
I agree.
Big personalities.
Great
when I was
guys.
watching this episode, I was never like, oh, get them out of there. mean, you root for them, but at the same time, it's like, how many times do you get to root for them? I mean, I don't know. So,
Yeah.
So then we have the Globetrotters, and then also we're going to Oklahoma for Cord and Jet McCoys, the brothers. Mm-hmm. Strong team. They got 6th place on season 18, or 2nd place season 16. James, what do you think about these guys?
The Cowboys, I mean, again,
Here we
they're
go.
another three-peat. They're another three-peat. And if you were going to bring back someone from the South, I would have rather seen Tim and Danny.
I know, me too.
Oh,
Well, I'm
yes.
also a little
They deserve
biased.
a second chance. They deserve a second chance. And again, I stand by the fact that if you haven't won the first 2 times, you're not going to win the third time. So.
Yeah. Are you just saying Tim and Danny because Tim's very much probably listening right now on AfterBuzzTV.com, or do you really want them to play again? Be honest.
Well, I mean, we loved them last season. You know, they were great television, and they were good guys who really could have used the money. And it would have been nice to see them instead of Jet and Cord. But you know, Jet and Cord have a huge fan following, and if you're going to have an all-star and try to hopefully raise ratings, you're going to bring back people who are heavy hitters on their previous seasons. You know.
Yeah. Which is a great, though, segue, James, into the next players. I know that you know him very well. Speaking of a huge following, we have the YouTube stars back, Joey and Megan. Now, we've met Joey at some of the kind of reality show events around Los Angeles. James, what did you think of them this episode?
I obviously adore them. They're great personalities. They bring a lot of
course.
spirit to the competition. Even on their first season, they were fun to watch, and they never really complained. They were always positive. You can really, I think it speaks volumes how strong their friendship is, because they really support one another. And so, again, you know, because they have such a huge following, it's great that they're back, because they have a lot of loyal fans.
Yeah, they do have a huge following, and I think that'll be really fun. I mean, it's great for them and what they do.
Sure.
And I agree with you. I mean, they're a little over the top sometimes, but I do think it's fun that
They're
they
so quirky. I love it.
Yeah, and they approach the race
Yeah.
of it's not going to be the end of the world if something is there's a hiccup along the way. You know, I think
Yeah.
they handle things so far well.
Well, he was like in the bridal shop, like joking around with the dresses, and everybody else is like freaking out. So it was like cute. I like that about him and her.
Yeah. We're of course rooting for them. You know, they're local. We know them,
Yeah.
and so you know we are rooting. Here we go. Some guys. The next team, I'm not sure, James. I feel like I'm with you, like some of the other teams we've talked about already. I'm not totally on board with this next team, which means that you'll probably, James, absolutely love them. John and Jessica, the engaged couple that now live in Huntington Beach. They're from Minnesota. They were in season 22. They were the only teams to have an express pass, but also be eliminated. What do we think about them, James?
Well, I liked them the first time they played. Again, I think the reason why they were invited back is because they obviously made a stupid, fatal mistake in not playing the Express Pass. So if you're going to kind of play the All-Stars game again, obviously this is their redemption, and hopefully they'll play a smarter game. I think they had all the potential in the world to go far in their first season. So it'll be nice to see kind of how they make up for their mistakes from the past. And now that they're engaged, I feel like this is going to, you know, be a true testament to their engagement. So it'll be interesting to see how this is going to play out with them.
Yeah, a lot of teams break up after they do the race, so
We'll see.
it's good that they got engaged.
Yeah, it puts a little more pressure on them to, you know, stick it together. I feel like, though, John also seems a little bit more mature this time around.
I would agree. Absolutely.
You know, I don't know, he just seems to think that he maybe wasn't quite as hot of a stud as he thought he was the first time around. Like, I feel like he has a little more maturity.
New
and
hairstyle.
Come down to earth a little bit.
Because he put a ring on it, so he's growing up.
Well said, well said. Then, of course, next, I love these guys only because they were on your season, Kim. They were, I mean, they weren't always loved when you guys were racing, but I always kind of liked how much fun they had on the race. They've been really nice guys since the episode has started airing. James, I know that you talked to them. It's Leo and Jamal, of course. They're back.
Yay, they're back.
Yeah, a tight turn. They just were in your season. Kim, what do you think of these guys? Be honest. You know, are you rooting for them? Are you not rooting for them because of the things you've done with them on the race? Let's hear it.
No, I'm absolutely rooting for them. We became friends with them through the race, and I text Leo pretty frequently, actually, and I met Jamal and his new wife. They're great guys. They're a little... I think they even admitted it. They're like, last time we played a little dirty. It'll be interesting to see if they change their antics a little bit, or if they still kind of try to slide one over everybody. We'll see. I'm curious to see if they keep lying this season. Or if they've turned over the Afghanima leaf.
The Afghanima leaf, no more lying. I mean, they say they're going to approach the race differently.
Yeah,
We're going to see.
They're great guys, so I don't see why. Some of their things they do are really dumb, but...
Oh, they're funny. I don't know. They're goofy guys.
They make me laugh.
I do think they have a bit of an advantage, the fact that they just finished the last season. I feel like they're still kind of in race mode, you know, and they're still thinking of strategies. They're still in great shape. Like, I think that could be an advantage for them to go right from a season to All-Stars. James, buddy, it sounds like there's quite the party going on wherever you're at, but what do you think of these guys?
I agree with you. I think since they're going back-to-back seasons, they kind of have the upper edge. They're still in the race mentality. And, you know, I like to give them crap last time we recapped their season. I think they're great television, and after hanging out with them a lot, you can't help but want to root for them. They're really good and solid guys, and it'll be interesting to see if, like what Kim said, if they change up their game a little bit, or if they're still going to be a little bit sneaky and conniving, you know?
Yeah. But I don't know. I just like how they race, where they even if they're maybe conniving or secretive to other teams, when it's the two of them. I mean, we only saw once or twice the whole last season them get mean with each other, and they seem to have a really kind of like positive attitude amongst themselves while they're racing. Like, they definitely have a good time while they're racing, and it's fun to watch. So I'm rooting for them.
I am too.
Anyway, good at Afghanimals from last season. Moving on to, we got Margie and Luke. What a cute pair we have here. The mother and son team from Colorado and Philadelphia. They placed third in season 14 and 8th place on season 18. She's a registered nurse and research, and he's also a motivational speaker. What do you think, James? How are they going to do?
Well, I tweeted last night again. I don't like the three-piece, and Luke saw it this morning, and I had a tweet from him. I love mother-son relationships. You know, I've auditioned for this show with my mom, and I can't help but root for mother-son relationships. I mean, I'm a supporter. I'm a believer in it, but I just, you know, they did really well the first time. The second time they didn't do so hot. So what means they're going to do as great the third time? You know. So power to them. I think Luke is a huge inspiration. So I think that's great, and I'm glad that he's back to continue to inspire viewers. But I'd rather see someone else have a second chance.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean,
fair enough.
But James, let's get down to the gossip real fast. So what did you tweet, and what did he respond?
I tweeted and I said, I love Amazing Race, but I can't stand the three-peats. Something along the lines of, like, really the Globetrotters, Margie and Luke, and the Cowboys. I'm just sick of it. Ugh. And he responded saying, ugh, with a wink face.
Oh, well, at least he had a wink face.
And
I thought it was so
personal. It's really nothing personal. It's just like, I'm a huge fan of the show, that it's like, there's so many other teams I thought were standouts from their seasons that would have been fun to maybe see a little bit more of again for a second chance.
I agree with you. But it was really amazing, I thought, when he was holding his mom's hand. When they were running.
Oh my
God,
love
I
that.
teared up. I'm like, that is so cute.
It is cute. I mean, I think too also that where they're gonna do, if they do well, it also just shows you can tell they have a very strong relationship between the two of them.
Yes.
I also thought it was really endearing and sweet when Phil was doing some signing at the pit stop. Yeah, he's making some moves. Well done. He's learning as he goes. All right, we're almost there, James. I know you have a lot to do tonight. We have the twins, right?
The twinnies.
The twinnies. Dear God. The Anderson twins from Edgewater, New Jersey / Sri Lanka. They came in 4th place on season 21. One is a student, Natalie, and Nadia is studying to be a CrossFit instructor. So, James, they are quite the characters. They certainly have a lot of personality, we'll call it. How did you feel about them being back and how they did this week?
It does not surprise me that they were asked back. I specifically remember them from their season. They made great television. They obviously made a really strong effect on their season just because of how outrageous they were. I just thought it was really funny how at the beginning of the episode when they're doing their little interview, kind of the intro, they were like, if you're not a hot mess in running this race, then you're not running it correctly. And, of course, they were a little bit too much of a hot mess, which kind of cost them the game.
Yeah.
So it didn't surprise me that they didn't do so hot the first episode.
This entire episode, when we were watching, I just kept picturing the poor camera operator or the field producer that had to go with them and being trapped in that bubble. And I was just like, when they were pulling straws to see which camera guy had to go with which teams, the poor camera guy that chose them, these girls just screamed at each other the entire time. Oh my God, were they annoying?
Yeah, it's like they have this love-hate relationship. It's so bizarre. And then in their season last time, they fought every episode, all episode long.
Yeah,
And
it
it's
was
just
ridiculous.
insane.
I gotta be honest with you, James and Kim, and I'm saying I was really relieved when they were voted off this time. I couldn't believe it. I was excited. Not voted off, but kicked off.
Yeah, well, I think
No,
it
I
was
completely agree.
It's like fun to watch for one episode. I'm
Yeah.
glad they were there. I got my laughs from them. Got my fill again of once again we'll call it just their personality. But also I'm like, I don't need a whole season of that. One episode's good.
I heard they're really funny though in like real life. That they're really like funny girls. So it'd be interesting to meet them and get a real perspective on how they are in real life. But
Maybe James, we can work our magic and see if they'll call into the show. If they're out there listening to us right now. Then lastly, a big twist right at the beginning of the show, like the first 5 seconds of the show. We were supposed to have the boys from Kentucky back. It was Mark and, how do you say his name again?
Blooper?
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 James, you know what I'm talking about, right?
James?
Oh, he's
Oh
back.
yeah, Mark and Bopper.
Bopper, yeah. I couldn't read my own handwriting again.
Bopper.
Yeah, so Mark and Bopper. Here's the thing, though, is that with Mark and Bopper, they're the team from Kentucky. They're good friends. They placed 5th in season 20. Like, right at the start, I mean, we'll get into the show recap in just a second, but, I mean, right away we find out the day before the race starts. The day before, he goes to Cedars-Sinai, a big hospital here in Los Angeles, with a pancreas attack. He has something going on with his pancreas, and Phil is there to add to the pressure of it. God, how nervous would you be? You haven't even started the race, and the host is there, so you know it's not going to be good news.
Yeah.
They bring in Phil, and they're told that Bopper cannot race. He's not physically fit enough to do it the night before the race. God.
Imagine.
And I felt so bad because these guys, I mean, they're tough guys from Kentucky, and they were crying and weeping. Yeah, it was a really sad and kind of like dramatic way to start a brand new season.
Yeah.
But then they surprise us all, and they pull out of the hat out of nowhere. Little Miss Kentucky is coming back. We have Mallory. James, were you excited to see her come back?
You know what? Again, she's a three-peat, but I was excited to see her come back because of the way that I guess the show kind of presented it. She's from Kentucky, and so is Mark and Bopper. So it's kind of cool to see the dynamic of they're still staying Kentucky strong. And I think it's interesting to see a team that wasn't originally a team on their other season. And that we saw that on the first All-Stars with Eric and Danielle. They were on completely different teams when they competed against each other. Then they started dating after the show and came back as All-Stars. So it's kind of cool to see a dynamic of two people that raced with separate teammates, and now they're kind of forced to work together on a whole new show,
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see what happens, but I didn't feel like their communication was great starting off.
And to get on the show, you have to be pretty close to. They don't like you to be on the show if you don't really know the person less than 5 years,
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Hey,
like,
you guys, I have to get going. My phone's on 4% battery, and I don't want to get cut off before I say goodbye. But thanks for letting me call in. Kim, I hope I get to see you on a future after show. I would love to have you in the studio.
Oh, I would love to.
Justin, have fun. And I love Mark and Bopper. It's unfortunate what happened, but I'm excited to see how Mallory does with her teammate. And it's going to be a good season overall, and I'm excited to recap it again with AfterBuzz.
Absolutely. Well, James, have a great time tonight with your capture friends there in Colorado, and we appreciate you calling in.
Thank you.
All right, bye, James.
Guys.
Bye.
All right, so there we go. That is the lineup. 11 really strong teams. I'm excited to see what happens.
Me too.
It could be anything. Now, we don't have a ton of time in the show today, but of course, those of you listening right now or watching on YouTube, but you know what happens in the show. But just in case you had to miss a little bit at home, we're going to quickly try to recap all that happened in just a few minutes. So here we go. First of all, they're starting right here, at least in our hometown. We got UCLA here in Los Angeles with the marching band, which I thought was really cool.
It was really cool.
A great way to start the race. You guys start on these Western sets.
Yeah, it looked so hard. Like, I don't know. I was like, I bet that was really hard to do. But I think once you just get the whatever it was it a word or?
There was it was an Asian symbol of some kind that they were on all the marching members' hats. Here's what I found, though. I kind of busted out laughing. So the camera shows the band in a set position, and the band members are not moving, and it says like The Amazing Race or something like that. But then as soon as Phil says the race starts now, all the band members started marching around.
I know.
So you had to find these Asian symbols that were just on someone's hat as they're marching in formation all around the field.
It's insane.
I just would have started tackling marching band members and pinning them down until I could read their hats.
And at that point, it's just so much luck because it's whatever one you're close by and just having to, it's like picking a needle out of a haystack.
It really is. But if you could be one of the first teams that finds this needle in the haystack, you will be on the first flight to Guangzhou, China. So we're going west this time.
I was so jealous. I always wanted to go to China.
I know. Well, they are off, but there's only 2 flights. So, you know, half the team got to go on the first one, half the team got to go on the second one. So, looks like Leo and Jamal killed it. They were on the first flight. We got Jet and Cord and Dave, Connor. Also the twins. They did really well at the beginning.
Yeah.
They were the last team on the first flight.
Which was weird. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were pretty excited about it. And then all the other teams were on the second flight. You know, we all know flights for a lot of it is everything, right?
Everything.
Oh yeah, we were so proud of you on your season. I don't want to jump back too much, but when you went to the Elite Lounge, oh my God, it's like the best moment ever. We learned how good you guys were gonna be. All right, so
Thanks.
all of our teams arrive in China.
Yep.
You're terribly jealous now because they get to be there.
Good.
And first of all, they're told take the taxi or the metro and go to the street of wedding dresses, where there's only going to be 3 stores that will have a limited number of clues. I was shocked that apparently there are so many wedding dresses in this neighborhood. Wasn't that crazy?
It was crazy, and they were very elaborate dresses.
They were, and you know, I think it was smart for the teams that took the metro because in China there's so much traffic and congestion that I feel like going under it all
Totally smart.
was brilliant.
It was smart.
Which is definitely what.
And that's almost the more difficult choice because it's easier just to jump in a cab.
Yep.
So it was smart for people to figure out to go on the metro, and it was a good choice.
Was it hard also, Kim, by the way, watching this and not knowing what
Yes.
it is to like what it's like to be there, knowing that they're doing it again, or were you like, thank God I'm not doing that right now?
No, I wanted to be a part of it so bad because it's the first episode I've seen since participating in it.
Yeah.
And I just thought of things I would have done, or you know, of course it's easier when you're watching, but I don't know, I wanted to be a part of it. It's so fun.
Most of it looked fun. This wedding dress thing maybe wasn't so much fun. So they have to look for
stressful.
These wedding dresses, and here's the thing. There's definitely some good things and bad things to do. The Cowboys were smart, and they got help right away from people that were speaking English, and they led them like right to the right wedding dress shop. Like they were on the way. Our buddies Leo and Jamal, I'm rooting for them. Like I said, I'm totally playing favorites right now because we know them from last season, your guys' season. And they decided to pair up with the twins. Are you kidding me?
I was so confused by that matchup. But this is what I think about Leo and Jamal, that their strategy is getting a girl team so that they always have a girl team that they know they can outrun. And so if they're behind, they know that they have a team that they can visit. That's my little guess about how they're going to play it again.
I like it.
Maybe.
I like it.
I could be wrong.
But this is where we found teams that would you got way ahead, you jumped ahead a few places, or you really fell behind.
Yeah.
Because like I said, Chet and Connor, I'm sorry, the Cowboys are up. Dave and Connor also did great. Also then the second flight gets in, and we see teams like Brendon and Rachel, or Brenchel, and they went from the second flight, but they also got help right away, and immediately this whole group from the second flight found the dresses, bam, 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 thank you, ma'am, great, they're off and out of the challenge. Like,
it's crazy.
The only people that were, so that's why I felt so bad then when we had Jen and we had Caroline, our country singer girls. They meet up.
Poor Carroll, they were struggling.
Yeah, they meet up with the twins as well. And once you meet up with the twins, they're gonna suck you in.
That was like a disaster waiting to happen.
Whoever meets the twins, you're screwed. So thank God Leo and Jamal, they were smart, they got out. Everyone else,
and as soon as they got out, they got the clue.
They're fine. Eventually though, everyone gets the clues, and they have to then go to the world's highest Ferris wheel and go on to this, on top of this building, looks out over the whole city.
So cool.
So cool, or kind of terrifying, I don't know. if you're scared of heights.
I would have been terrified doing it, but it's cool to look at it.
And they have to look for these
on the ground.
Yeah, they have to look for these clues inside this bubble. And I think on the race, you probably the same way.
Yeah.
You expect it to be so hard that then when it's super easy, you don't see it. So the clue was right there in the bubble.
Right there.
And yet all these teams completely overlooked it.
I feel like I probably would have overlooked it but when you watch it, you're like, you idiot. But then when you're there, like you said, it's very different when you're like experiencing it.
These are some of the challenges though that sometimes I get frustrated with about the Amazing Race and how it works. Because for instance, it's not your fault when you get, you're doing the clues well, you're running the race well, and then you get up to this Ferris wheel and you just are told to go into these bubbles, right? So if you went into an odd numbered bubble on this episode, you were told, please try again.
Right.
If you by coincidence went into an even one, just by chance, you immediately could go to the next one.
And you wouldn't have even known that it wasn't an option to not get the clue correctly.
Now, if you would have kept going into odd ones, then I would have been like, you're an idiot, you deserve to be falling behind. But there were so many teams that went right into an even number bubble, they were fine.
Right.
And they moved on. But there's some teams that got stuck.
Yeah.
And they had to ride how slow was that Ferris wheel too?
And I think they said it was like 25 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's accurate, but I think the twins mentioned that it was like 25 minutes to go around. That's a long time to be just waiting up in the air.
Yeah, so for those of you that are listening or watching that didn't see this part of it, you went inside these little like Ferris wheel bubbles and then you just had to go around so slowly. So it was really interesting to see which teams did great, which ones did not, and hopefully they figured out right away that if they're in the odd one, they need to go to an even one. Because that's what gives the clue. And the clue says to go to the stadium, which you can see right down below. And once again, this is where I felt horrible for the camera guys that were with the twins.
It's a long day, I think.
I feel like you could hear them arguing at the bottom of the skyscraper. Like they were just screaming at each other in this bubble, and there's just one poor camera operator stuck in there the entire time. So I know this is the world's fastest recap, so to our listeners, thank you for bearing with us, but here we go. They then race down to a stadium, and they have to be hoisted, I believe, 300 feet into the air, because the roadblock is called feeling wired. So you get wired up, you get raised up, and then you have to do 5 wire flips.
Yeah, it was intense.
It was intense, and I think it's funny because, once again, you don't know really what the challenge is going to be during the roadblock, right?
No,
and when you pick your teammate. So I felt bad for some of the people that like didn't like heights, but yet they were the ones that had to go. The team I'm thinking of is so I'm still getting about Margie Margie and Luke, where it's like she doesn't like heights at all, and then of course she's the one that has to go up to the top. Would you have liked to have done this challenge?
I don't like heights. Or wait, what did you say?
Would you have liked to have done this challenge?
Oh, I don't really like heights, so no. But I would have done it. I just think it's horrifying being like when your feet aren't on the ground.
I don't know what was more horrifying, being raised 300 feet into the air on this wire, or the costumes that you had to wear while doing it.
Why do they pick the most hideous costumes for every
television,
challenge?
Right? It's great TV.
There's never like a cute. Why can't they be like cute?
I don't know. That's your next job.
I know.
In between your projects that you're currently working on, you should be the wardrobe stylist for The Amazing Race.
Yeah, well.
Done.
Pass.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
A lot of pressures. Anyway, after you do the flips, you then get to race to this beautiful opera house for the first pit stop of the season. It looked great, and they were so strong the entire time. Congratulations to Cord and Jet. They were first place. Not even any questions about it.
No.
So, but the pressure's on because they get the express pass, right?
Gosh, that express pass causes so much drama.
It does.
It always causes so much drama. So it'll be exciting to see who I think Caroline and Jen were trying to
already work it.
Flirt with. That's smart though. You gotta give him credit. James was
not
a little hard on the flirting.
I think it was the Budweiser, to be honest with you. But it's a little bit of drink. But he was harsh, and
I think it's kind of smart.
But, yeah, the thing is that I think it's smart too. I would have done it. I would have. You have to get flirtatious if I was a girl and on the race. But the express pass, being that you've already done the race, would you? Knowing how much pressure and how much drama an express pass can cause, would you have wanted to just get second place, or would you still have wanted to fight for that express pass?
No, I would have loved to have the express pass. I mean, it gives you so much power, and if you have that express pass, I mean, you basically are guaranteed to get at least Well,
Yeah.
aside from the people
But there were some teams on this episode that were like, "Oh, thank God we didn't get the express pass. It just would have created too much drama."
That's because they freaking got kicked off with an express pass, which was insane. And I think they realized that. But I think everybody else probably would have loved it.
All right, fair enough. And our locals here also at AfterBuzz, we have Rachel and Brendon. Or Brendon. They got second. They did great.
They did really good.
Get it, girl. And those green
and they got along,
shorts
which
of
was
hers.
A little
She was very
shocking.
sparkly. Yeah, there was no big odd crying scenes or yelling scenes.
She was a little bit... I think if you only knew her from that, you wouldn't maybe think she was crazy. Not that she's crazy, but like some of her past...
You are in such trouble. She's probably waiting outside the studio door right now.
No, I really like her.
You have to say that now because you know she works here.
No, I like her.
Number 3.
She knows she's a little nuts.
That's true. Number 3, third place is Dave and Connor. They did great. Happy for them. Number 4, Margie and Luke.
So cute.
So cute. They got 4th place. Our boys, Leo and Jamal, a
Not
safe
bad.
5th.
Not bad.
Not bad. They seemed very happy with it. They were excited.
I'd take 5th.
Yeah. Mal and Mark, not bad for getting paired together. Right
So
then and
hard.
there.
Yeah.
She seems to have a pretty good attitude about it. I think Mark's a little more hesitant about this pairing.
I think that would be really, really hard to do the race with somebody you met that day. I don't know how she's going to do it or he's going to do it. That'll be interesting.
We'll see. Coming in 7th place is the Globetrotters. We got Flight Time and Big Easy. 8th place, Jessica and John. So they're doing okay. Not out of it yet, but this is where it then starts to get like, how are they going to do? Caroline and Jennifer, James's BFFs forever, got 9th. I was surprised. Joey and Megan. They had a lot. They got caught up with the twins also right or something, but they got 10th. Not a great start to the race.
Not a great start.
I mean, like I said, they're very close with James. They know the race very well. They know reality. What do you think?
I love them. I think they're either at the very end or at the very beginning. It'll be interesting to see how they do.
Fair enough.
This season.
And then last but not least, the twins we talked about. They're out of here.
Out.
They were fun, but get the hell out.
No,
See
just
you later.
Poor
All
things.
right, before we get out of here at AfterBuzz TV, really quickly, I want to know your predictions, your news and gossip about who you think's gonna win.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
The lights in the
intense
studio
in
right now.
here.
It's like a Martian's coming in. All right, so Kim, this is when the pressure is on you, my dear.
Oh
First
my
of all,
God.
you've been an amazing guest host for
Thank
the day.
you.
I hope it's not even a guest one day. It's just like a regular thing.
know.
But here's the thing. You now have to say who is going to win the next leg and who's going to be sent home. There's no backing out.
Okay, I think... Can I say Leo and Jamal just because they're my friends?
You can,
Okay, or
it's a popularity contest
I
right
really
now.
think David and Connor are very competitive, and I think they're gonna probably win the next one.
Really?
I don't know. It's just my feeling,
Okay.
and I hope Leo and Jamal do. And then I think the team that might get eliminated. Ooh, I don't want to say the YouTubes, but they're already at the back of the pack. I think Carolyn and Jen can kind of flirt their way up over them. We'll see. I don't know.
James is gonna be so mad at you for saying that.
I don't want to say it.
So
I want
mad at you for saying that.
Maybe it'll be a safety or whatever.
Last thing, I think that first of all, Cord and Jet are gonna continue to rock it.
Yeah.
Like if they don't get first next week, they're maybe gonna get second. Like I think
Yeah,
they have the right attitude. They
good
seem to
guess.
not be phased yet. Like they are like,
They're tough.
here we are, here's war. So I'm thinking they're gonna stay up there. Who I think is gonna maybe really be in trouble next week is, I'm sorry, I know they did okay. They're in the middle of the pack, but I would not be surprised to see fall all the way to the back. Mallory and Mark. I just think there's not enough time to know each other. Their communication was kind of already,
Yeah.
and maybe they just got lucky with the dress shopping and stuff.
Yeah, that's a good guess too.
I don't know. We will see. We're going to see next week who's right. Also, to all of our listeners and viewers out there, know that we are excited to have James Wallington and Jessica Carroll back. Before we get out of here, Kim, tell us where they can find you, social media-wise and everything like that.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Kim DeJesus9. And yeah, I'm on Instagram too.
All right, and you're also now out here in Los Angeles a lot.
Yeah.
You're working like crazy because you're an actress as well, right?
I am.
That's so exciting. Well,
Thanks.
it's been such an honor to have you here in
it
our
was so
studio.
fun. I
You are a
love it.
sweetheart. You're gorgeous, and you
Oh,
know
thank
that
you.
Jess is going to be so jealous
I can't wait to see her.
It's going to be great. My name is Justin Nichols, everyone. You can find me on all the different social media pages at Justin J. Nichols. Make sure you're following AfterBuzz TV on all those social media pages. Thanks for watching. Make sure you go into iTunes, download this podcast, rate it. Big episode, fast episode, but that is it from here at AfterBuzz here in Los Angeles. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week, everybody.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.